Alright lads, so a new arena season started, and with that, we are here once more to break down the season and let you lads know some tips to take on season 3 of Arena in the year 2023. So the more exciting thing about this particular season is the rules. In this case, we are on the Hueco Mundo map, we are going against hollow enemies, and Soripers, Arankas, and also humans get a 2 times damage output. This basically means that you're going to be seeing the same normal characters, but you're just not going to see any no affiliation characters. In addition to that, this does mean that you can actually use normal attack damage characters that are traditionally the defensive characters in this season, and they can be quite tanky but also quite offensive too, because they're now getting a buff on their normal attack damage string. Usually when it's only strong attack damage times 2, SP characters are the only ones that get that benefit, but in this case, both attack based characters and SP based characters get this buff. So if you are a fan of normal attack damage characters, attack based characters, you can have a lot of fun in this particular arena season. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing when using characters for this season. Having a look at this season's orders, what we can see here is if you play 25 games of a speed character, you are going to get 500 links or potions. By playing 15 games of a human character, you're going to get 125 golden Quincy scrolls. 15 games of a Soripo is going to get you 125 holo scrolls. The more important orders, the ones that you should definitely be doing for this particular season, is winning 10 games of a technique character. That's going to get you 300 arena medals. Winning 10 games of a hard character is also going to get you 300 arena medals. 10 games of a power character, once more, is going to get you 100 arena medals. By playing 20 games of an Aranka character, you're also going to get 300 more arena medals. And then lastly, play 20 games with a Mind character, and you're also going to get the last 300 medals. Again, if there's any orders you're going to complete in this particular season, it's going to be those 5 challenges. The most important item you can get from these event orders are these medals, so you can buy stuff in the shop. Most importantly though, the orbs. Other than that though, you just have some other orders to play till the finish, and if you do play 50 arena games, you then get 25 spirit orbs. Other than that though, let's have a look at some of the better characters you can use in this particular arena season. So nothing really has changed much from the last season. Again, the only difference you're going to see here is that you don't want to bring any no affiliation characters, and realistically, the best no affiliation character in this meta is Bruno. So if you were someone looking forward to using Bruno in this season, unfortunately you can't really do that since he's not getting that 2 times damage output. You mainly want to focus on bringing either a Soripa, a Ranka, or human character. Of course, as always, your 3 best SP characters are going to be 1000 Year Blood with Ichigo, 7th Anniversary Uryu, and also the renewed version of Orihime. All 3 characters are great here with mobility, damage output, and also have a great set of strong attacks to back them up. Tsukishima, as always being the sleeper pick, is a direct counter to Orihime, and is also really good and fun in this particular arena season, or any arena season to be fair. But what I mainly want to highlight in this particular season is those attack-based characters. As you can see here, we have 2 types of characters, an offensive character and a defensive character. Ideally, when it comes to using attack-based characters, like for example Yami, you want to give this character the max amount of damage reduction. The whole idea for these attack-based characters is to slow down the opponent's team, and characters with barriers or last ditch is a way you can actually do that. But like I already mentioned, in this arena season, since they are a Soripa, Aranka, or human, they are therefore getting that 2 times damage output on their normal attack damage. So that not only allows them to be quite a defensive character, but it also allows them to be an offensive character, which is something that you don't really see in those strong attack damage seasons. So if you're going to want to use an as character, this is the season to do so, because they are quite tanky, but also quite offensive at the same time. Yami, again, once more just being a character with 200% last ditch, a counter to 6th Anniversary Aizen, just a very solid and kind of toxic character in Arena. Aizen, I think, is going to be a pretty fun character. I really do much like using him. Obviously, he is the best offensive NAD character in the game when it comes to attack-based characters, and in the Arena season, he does take some time to get built up because he doesn't come with any unique Arena skills, but with the boost, barrier, and also most importantly, read all affiliation dodges, he's always guaranteed to hit any opponent he goes against. Orihime also going to be a really fun character this season, very similar to Aizen in this sense. In this case, he has last ditch, high NAD damage output, but instead of boosting your team on that SA2, you're going to debuff the NPCs and also provide yourself with a barrier. So there's definitely a handful of characters you can use in this season, and just because a character isn't on this particular list doesn't mean they can't be used. Ideally, these are going to be the characters you want to use past rank 6 when you're in the higher ranks. If you're only going from rank 1 to 5 just to complete the challenges, you can just use whoever you want to and just have a bit of fun doing that. But as you do get high in the ranks, you start going against the same type of characters, the more meta characters, and of course, if you bring any of these, you're going to have an easy time tackling that type of content. But for the next minute, I want to focus on this one particular character. We're going to do this every time a new season comes out, focus on the newest arena character, and in this case, we have the Manor version of Orihime. She's actually setting up to be a quite cool character in the arena game mode, a unique character that actually does offer last-ditch survival as an arena soul trait. What you'll notice here in this particular list is that we don't have many characters with last ditch survival. It's kind of an old meta right now. Sure, there are still some characters with last ditch survival, namely that Yami at the top of defensive characters. He does come with double last ditch, right? But this Orihime, since it's a link, she actually allows to do that on anyone. But in Orihime's case, since she's a link, it actually allows her to be a quite toxic link in a sense on any character. But to be honest, I don't think it's going to be that great of a link, mainly because it's strong attack damage and also last ditch. If it was strong attack recharge and last ditch, that would have been significantly better. But the most important thing is that it is on herself. So every time she does die in the arena game mode, she has a 15% chance to actually revive. Now that doesn't seem that toxic. The way the meta has been shaping up is that it's all about using the fastest characters like Flowers in Your Blood with Ichigo and defeating the NPCs as quick as possible. And while it's true Orihime can be quite an offensive character, especially if you do get her to arena level 10, she's also like the first defensive SP character we're seeing, since her SA2 does actually provide the team with a booster boost, so it's giving them more stats, but also provides herself a 5-hit barrier and your teammates with a 3-hit barrier. No one in this meta besides this particular Okura goes through barriers, so not only is that going to slow down the enemy's team, if you do eventually kill this Orihime and that 15% last ditch does activate, well then she's going to revive, slow down the enemy teams once more, and potentially activate more barriers. So Orihime I think is actually a pretty cool character for this particular season or any arena season, and I kind of do like the playstyle she has going for her. She's an offensive but yet defensive SP character, which is something that we haven't really seen much of in the arena game modes. Next up though, let's have a closer look on the map, in this case the Hueco Mundo map. So looking at map 1, we're going to be in a circle based map, and in this case it's separated into 4 areas: top left, top right, bottom left, and also bottom right. If you are playing with teams of 3 and you are playing with your friends, ideally what you want to do is have one person hold down this area, one person hold down this area, and then the host of the team, ideally someone with long stride, can basically hold down this entire bottom part of the map. The main reason for that is because there are more mini mobs here, which are going to help build up your gauge, but there's also less NPCs to deal with. The bottom person is going to spend more time flash stepping back and forth between both sides of the map, so ideally that's why you would want to have long strides. But even if you are playing with yourself, ideally you want to stay at the top part of the map, since there are more potential spawn points for an NPC, and if you're ever trying to go for a challenge, let's say defeat a certain type of mob, as always do follow the arrow on the screen, but you'll see here that the bottom half of the map does have more chances to spawn NPCs. But you'll see at the bottom half of the map there are more spawn points for mobs for you to potentially kill. As always, important to always know where the boosts are going to spawn. In this case, it's going to spawn on the left and also the right. Keep in mind you don't have to be on this side of the map to actually get the boost. You can always just go here and use a strong attack to grab it. These boxes are going to spawn in every 30 seconds, and it's always important to grab these. The amount of games I play where people don't get the boost and we lose because of that. Ideally, every teammate in your lobby wants to have +2 boosts, so it's always best to share it around your team and grab the boxes when they are available. Looking at map 2, again, once more a very symmetrical map. Looking at map 2, in this case, what you're going to notice is that there are potential 4 chances for a box to spawn in, on the left and the right, on the upper parts and lower parts of the map, but still around the middle. Important to know where they spawn, because you should always be grabbing them when they do spawn in. But in this case, I would actually recommend, again, if you are in a team of 3, one person hold down the top left, one person hold down the top right, because that's where you're going to have the potential chance for NPCs to spawn in. And then if you're the host of the lobby or in your team, again, advised here you have long stride, you can basically hold down the bottom part. These NPCs are more spared out in their spawns, so having long stride is going to be more ideal here. Whereas if you're in the top left or top right, they're always going to spawn in the corner, so ideally you don't even need to have long strides. If you're playing by yourself and again you don't have long stride, I definitely recommend staying at the top part of the map, because you're gonna spend less time flash stepping around. Whereas if you do have long stride, again, staying at the bottom half of the map isn't really going to be a bad thing to do. And then looking at map 3, and this one more so does encourage you to have long strides because of how big it is, and a lot of times you do see yourself flash stepping around the map quite often. Characters with long stride are definitely going to have the advantage here, but looking at the spawn point, this is where you're going to spawn in right in the middle, and the boost, or the boxes in this case, are always going to spawn in these particular areas. Again, make sure to grab them when they do spawn in. But when it comes to holding down a certain area, ideally if you have long stride and you are again playing with teammates, you can just hold down one area like this, just going back and forth. Same goes for here, going back and forth, and then your third person can just be the anchor of the team and just go wherever they need to be. If you can coordinate with your teammates, what you can actually do is have one person hold down these 2 areas, have another person hold down these 2 areas, and then have someone hold down these two areas, preferably the host in this case. And at that point, you basically have all the areas covered, and you don't need to waste time flash stepping around the map. That's only in an ideal situation though if you are playing with your teammates, but the way this one is structured, if you're playing by yourself with a bunch of randoms, having long stride is going to be ideal here because you are going to see yourself flash stepping around the map quite often. So as always, let's finish off the video going into a game and see if we can actually get a win. Now, quick tip for those that stayed around to the end, it's kind of advised here to not play arena for potentially the first week or so, just so you can get into a less competitive lobby. Just to give an example, I joined an arena season the second it started, and in this case, I have quite the sweaty lobby. It's only been out for like 40 hours right now, and someone's already gotten 56 wins, 5,610 trophies. So this one's going to be quite tough. Definitely going to have to try a bit harder in this season just to get a decent position here, so I can pick up those arena medals to then buy orbs from the shop, right? Or the 6-star ticket. But in this case, for this particular run, we're going to be bringing the SE version of Orihime. Pretty fun character. I don't use him much in normal PvE content, so I do like the fact that I can get a use out of him in this arena game mode, and more particularly in this arena season. There are quite a few captains running around. We've given him full DR with some decent links, nothing too special here. But the main point is that he's there to kind of disrupt the enemy's team, debuff them, give our team the shields, and with the 2x damage output, we're going to be able to do some respectable damage. Alright, so let's see who we are up against. We have an Aizen, which is actually pretty good for us. We have an Uryu, which isn't really good for us. And we have an absolutely terrible team. Oh no, we actually have a decent team. The Orihime, not sure why bro's bringing her. But in this case, let's kind of stay around this area of the map. We do have to be careful in this case with Nad characters because, again, they can be doing quite a lot of damage, especially Aizen. But in this case, I'm going to just try and stay at the top part of the map here. Let the Okura in our team do most of the work since he is the arena character with long strides. So an Aizen there, looks like we can actually kill him in like 4 Nad hits. Once the boost does spawn, I'm going to try and grab that. Kill these enemies. Got a nice spawn on us. Really good spawns on us. Hold on. Lovely. Okay, the boost spawned in. As you can see, no one's grabbing it, but that's actually pretty good. Unfortunately, though, in our case, we actually got a sob, and that's not what you want to have. Let's kill the Aizen there. Lovely. So unfortunately, yeah, we definitely need to pick up a boost or two because it does not look like we can kill Aizen fast enough before he can activate the boost. Unfortunately, though, Okura is a character that you kind of want to stay at full stamina with, and we already took a bit of damage, so our DPS is quite lower, but it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, use my soul bomb here, might as well. Get a couple of kills on these enemies. Definitely gonna be a close game though. Aizen spawned to me, lovely. Let's stay back so we can't use the boost. That's nice. Akon goes down. Can I grab the next boost? Yes, I can. Lovely. Alright, so in this case, the enemy team might steal from us last second, so it's down to us if we can score steal last second. They're gonna steal from us. Is it on 0 though? Okay, we actually got lucky there, but at the same time, maybe we didn't. If they stole from us, we probably had a decent amount of time to actually steal from the enemy's team once more. But there we go. We actually got a pretty easy dub there. Surprising to me, this Orihime this high the ranked is kind of annoying to see, but by all means, it didn't really matter that much. We still won the game. So yeah, not too bad. I'm definitely going to keep on working on this particular Okura, get into R6, just so I can unlock all his links. And that's basically my main goal when it comes to using characters in Arena. I tried to get most of my characters to R5 and R6, but if they're really good, like this Ichigo and Roka, for example, then I take them past rank 6 and try and get them to R7. But with that said, lads, that would be all for today, breaking down Arena Season 3 for the year 2023. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what character you're using in this Arena Season, and I'll see you lads next time. Take care, and peace.